right, thank you, Carl. Thank you, everyone. So this is going to be an interesting session because we're going to do something that's never, ever been done before, and that is that you are going to choose the demo that we're going to do here. You know, anybody could do a demo. Well, not anybody, but some people do a demo. We're prepared to do a variety of demos, and you get to choose. So let me introduce myself. I'm Robert Lutz. I'm the Director of Product Management at Systech. And this is Yasemin, who's one of our key developers at Systech. And we're going to share how you can create an IoT solution in minutes. Just minutes. In this presentation, we're going to create a full IoT solution from scratch. Products almost right out of the box, just installed here so you can see them. We're going to install them from scratch right here in this presentation. So I only have less than 15 minutes now, so we're going to move really quickly. So how are we going to do this? You're going to choose the demo we're going to do. You have two to choose from: a restaurant freezer failure prevention application or a building energy optimization application. And you're going to vote, so get your cell phones out, and this is how you're going to do it. You're going to text a message to the phone number of 22333. You're going to text a message to 22333. You're going to send two text messages. The first one's simply going to be the word Systech, S-Y-S-T-E-C-H. You're going to wait for a response, and then you're going to vote A or B. A for the restaurant application, B for the energy optimization application. So go ahead and pull out your phones, text the message of Systech to 22333. And we're going to get your results dynamically right here on the screen. So keep on voting. Remember the voting for A for the restaurant freezer prevention application, and then the energy optimization is B. Now, while you guys are voting, I'm going to talk a little bit more, but go ahead and do those two text messages, one to Systech, and then the second one is either A or B. Now, if you really want to vote for both of them, you can actually vote for one twice, or you can vote for each of them equally. You're allowed two votes. So if you really want to vote twice, feel free to do that. So while you guys are voting, I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to be creating an application. We're pulling all the components of an M2M solution together, hardware and software. Now, normally this takes months, right? You're developing a hardware solution. You have to do the certification, building the different interfaces, things like that. The software development, this is a multi-month project. But we're able to reduce that to days, and even in this presentation, we're going to do it in just minutes, right here in this 15-minute thing. So let's see how we're going to be moving forward here. So it looks like, so far, most of the votes are for the freezer application, which is actually pretty darn interesting. So I think, Yassi, what do you think? We'll go with that one? All right, so you selected. We're going to go for the restaurant freezer application. So let me tell you exactly what we're going to do here. So the goal of this application is eliminating costly food spoilage. And Yassi's going to set this up. We're going to switch to her screen in a minute, but if I just want to go through a few things so you can see exactly what she's doing. The first step she's doing is getting the right components together, adding them to the gateway, and we'll show you that. Now, if the freezer door is open too long, we're going to sound a local alert. Like maybe they're stocking the freezer and they prop it open and somebody's forgot to close the door. So if it's open too long, we're going to sound an alert. So this is the application we're going to do. And the way we're going to do that was with certain devices. The devices being a door contact sensor and then a local alarm or siren alert. These are the other applications we chose from. So it's a little quick thing about Systech. We've been around for a long time, 30 plus years. We've sold a lot of gateways, a lot of solutions in the IoT market. The hardware side of the equation, we've actually had available for many years. It's a modular gateway with the different interfaces. You just plug the different interfaces in, just plug and play type solution for Bluetooth or cellular or Zigbee or Z-Wave or Wi-Fi. You just plug the different interface cards right into the gateway so you can get it configured in a very, very short amount of time, just a few minutes, and then power it up. So that's pretty cool. Also, for this application, we're using a cellular interface, so I'm really happy that the judges are from the carrier background. So this is we're using a cellular connectivity to the network, and we're agnostic. We're actually we have a capability of doing multi-cellular simultaneously, even with automatic failover from cellular to wired, or wired to cellular, or cellular to cellular. The failover can actually occur automatically, so that's a pretty cool solution. Now, the key, though, to make the full solution is not just the hardware, which is actually very easy now, but with the software. And we're actually introducing that here at this event called SysSCRIPT, the ability to create a full-on application in just a few short minutes. So you guys are getting a sneak peek of this brand new technology. And actually, that's exactly what we're going to look at right now. So let's switch over to Yassi's computer. You plugged in? Okay. Yeah, here we go. All right, so for the application, we have this freezer door. This door represents the freezer. It has a Z-Wave wireless contact sensor on it. Have you already joined the Z-Wave device? Okay. So the gateway knows nothing about any of these devices, so the first step she's doing is joining these devices to the gateway. So you can imagine this is straight out of the box, so there's nothing that's been connected before. The first thing the installer will do is join the devices. Both of these devices happen to be Z-Wave, so we're going to join these Z-Wave devices to the application. And that brings recognition of the device to the gateway, including its properties. So as we do the software programming, you'll notice that when we are doing triggers and trying to say what to do when something else happens, only the valid properties for the devices that are actually attached to the gateway will be presented to the user. So here we've added a single device already. What was the first device that was added? The GW, it's a strobe light. So this is the second part of the application, is that we have the strobe light here, which is also a siren. So they'll be using this as a local alert. This also happens to be a Z-Wave device. So in this application, we have two Z-Wave devices communicating together. So she's adding one device and calling it demo strobe, and the second device calling it the demo door. And again, this is straight out of the box. You could do this right on site at the restaurant. You roll your truck. You have this. You don't even have to have anything prepared in advance. You just bring these devices on site, and the VAR, the system integrator, and the installer can do this right there. Now, this is also highly scalable. So when you create the software for a particular restaurant, like in this example, you can actually deploy this automatically to multiple, hundreds, or even thousands of locations. And as you edit the software, you want to make modifications or additions, those software updates will actually be rolled out automatically to all of the gateways simultaneously. So here we're creating the script. So as you can see, these pieces are coming together, almost like the hardware gateway was put together with pieces. The software is the same way. The specific pieces, the valid options, or the options that are being fed to the user as he's setting this up. So the first element there was triggering a door contact being open. What happens? So what we're going to do is start a timer, because we want to be able to set the alarm if the door is open too long. So we start a timer when the door is open. And she's editing a command. If you make mistakes, you can easily edit, which is good, useful in a live situation. So when that door is open, we set the timer period to 10. The default period is seconds. You can actually change it to seconds, minutes, or hours. The default was seconds. So set it for 10 minutes and then start the timer. So she's actually created the application. It's residing this is a cloud interface. So she's actually writing the software. It's operating in the cloud. But when she said update gateway, when she pressed that button, that downloaded the software straight to the gateway. So now that script, that piece of software, is executing in this gateway. Where's the gateway? Oh, it's down on the floor here by our feet here. So that script is already running. So if I were to open the door now, actually, the door is not even attached here. Let me attach this door here. All right, so when that door is open, that script will start right away. I'm going to make this flat so it won't open all by itself. All right, the second script she's writing is when the freezer timer expires. So we set that timer to go. When the timer expires, we want to do something. We want the alarm to trigger. So freezer door timer expired, then we set the strobe light to demo. Now, since the door was open earlier, we actually triggered that already, and the light's blinking. So we have one more script to do. How do you turn this light off? Or this could be a siren strobe. If you turn it off, we want to trigger on the door being closed. So it's the third script. So two scripts are already running in the gateway. The door is open. The strobe light, the timer starts. The timer times out. The strobe light turns on. Now, when the door is closed, we want to reset the timer and stop the timer at least, and then turn off the strobe light if it's already on. So in this case, the demo strobe will be turning off. And you notice that when she says demo strobe, only the valid options are presented to the user. You don't have options that don't make sense here. Only the options that make sense would be provided. So turn off the strobe light and turn off the timer. So if the door is open less than a certain timer amount and then you close it, then the timer will stop. It won't trigger the strobe light. So only if the door is open too long in this application will that strobe light be done. So you've already downloaded that script. So if I close the door now, since that third script is up and running, you notice the strobe light turned off. So we did this is a full, valuable IoT application that can be deployed in just minutes. In fact, I think we used far less than our 15-minute time allotment for this application. You could add more. We could have put a temperature sensor in the freezer, so if the temperature goes above a certain amount, you can send a text message to a user or those kinds of things. So what did we do here? We straight out of the box from scratch, we added the devices for this application that you chose. You chose this application. We're prepared to do others. And then we powered up the hardware. The Z-Wave module was already plugged in the gateway in this case. We created the software from scratch, and now it's up and running and fully deployed. And I don't know how many more minutes I have, but that was a much less time than we actually even predicted. So I'm going to go back to my slides here, just for a few final thoughts here. The demo's done. So we did this. No engineering. You can see that any of you probably could have created those scripts. In fact, you'll have the opportunity to do that in our booth. Come by our booth. We actually have 4 different options, 4 different applications that you could come to our booth and create it from scratch right in our booth. Just come in. We're going to do rotating a demo. Come in anytime. We'll be creating a demo from scratch, and you can do it hands-on within our booth. And if you like this shirt, IoT for the Internet of Things, come by our booth. We'll give you an opportunity to get a shirt. We'll tell you exactly how. In fact, I have, since this is a battle, and the judges are over here, there's various sizes. Choose your size. But don't worry, we have plenty of shirts left in the booth. So come by the booth, and you'll have an opportunity to do that. Now, I want to, since this is a battle, we want to talk a little bit about competition. Obviously, there's competition. There's other people that make gateways. So how does this compare? Let me just give you a little help here. So using a device as an Ethernet bridge, that's pretty straightforward in an IoT-type application. A lot of people do that, and we do that, and we do that pretty well. But if you want software programmability, the capability of writing your own software within the gateway, even more complex than we're showing here, like Python or JavaScript or C, we have a embedded Linux operating system within the gateway, fully accessible to the developer. Hardware modularity, the plug-in modules for Zigbee, Z-Wave, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, whatever you might have, the interfaces. There's very few of us that do that. And if you want a true 10-minute solution, being able to create an application in just 10 minutes, nobody does that besides Systech. So that's pretty amazing. So, monitor the properties of any device with SysSCRIPT. You do if-then that type programming. You can record data for later use, make decisions on these properties at any time. So, Carl, how much time do I got left? All right. So I think that brings us to the end, and I am open for questions.
Excellent. Round of applause. Questions from the audience?
Great presentation. So how do you do a mass deployment and then confirm that all the devices actually got the settings that you put in there in that 10-minute with all your new settings?
So when you set up the script, there's an option for selecting the gateways you want that script to go to. And you can group them in predefined groups with a single name going to tens, hundreds, thousands with one name, or individually. And what will happen then is as you update the software in the cloud, the next time that gateway is connected to the internet, or immediately if it already is connected to the internet like it usually would be, that software will be deployed automatically down to that gateway. Any gateway that's not connected to the internet will continue to run the software as it last saw, and then the next time it talks to the internet, the connection is remade or a cellular connection comes up, then it will get the latest update.
Excellent. Give him a round of applause, please.